Hey, good evening. एक बार फिर से हम मिल रहे हैं on the same day and we're talking about practical chemistry in this one, right? Cations, group 0, 1, 2, 3. What is all this? Salt analysis. Can you hear me and see me? Well, you won't be able to see me right now. Now you're going to be able to see me. All good? Wow, look at that. Amazing, amazing visual. Yeah, that should be much better. Hard work, boy. Sandeep Bharadwaj. यार नाम छोटा करो. You always read from left to right, and then by the time I get your name, you got so many other things going there. रोहित कुमार asked a very interesting question. क्या वो 9th स्टैंडर्ड से नीट की तैयारी कर सकते हैं? First off, प्रणाम भाई साहब. That's a lot of effort. Sure, man. I guess do bio right now. 9th and 10th आराम से पूरी bio करो, and then 11th में do physics, and 12th में do chemistry. Something like that, if you want to plan it out. But if you're going the self study route, that's what I would suggest. If you're going, if you're going to go with the coaching and all of that, then maybe it may not be that direct. I'm just answering Rohit's question. Are you able to see me, hear me? Sab chill hai? Yeah, yeah. How's that going? Like clear, sab kuch, all good there. Just leave me a comment saying if you're able to hear me and see me, and then I'll start the session off right away. It's important to check that. क्योंकि कभी-कभी क्या होता है कि मुझे लग रहा है सब कुछ बहुत बढ़िया चल रहा है, but you guys may be like, अरे ये तो कुछ दिख ही नहीं रहा है या कुछ बोल नहीं रहा है, right? So how's that going? I'm going to quickly just check my stream as well to make sure it's running. Yeah, all right, perfect. Yeah, all seems to be good. So have you guys seen the previous questions, by the way? Previous, hold on. This is okay. Yeah, dikh raha hai, right? Okay, sweet. There's a huge lag between what I'm saying over here and what is coming onto the amazing channel. Normally there's a 10-second gap, but looks like it's a lot longer right now on YouTube because I was just checking on the phone as well. Khair, how to start preparation of NEET 2025? Well, follow our sessions, guys. What else can I say? Follow our sessions. Yeah. Cool. So let's get started right now with this part of the practical chemistry, focusing on cations. Ah, there you go. The usual suspects. Manpreet, Shalini. Yeah. आवाज साफ आ रही है, right? दिख रहा है and all of that. कोई इसके अलावा हाय लो सब बोल रहे हैं. Hey, Varsha. Let's start right away. So salt analysis till now we have covered what exactly are anions that are in your syllabus and how to study them. Yeah, we've done that in detail. So this focus right now is going to be completely on cat ions, positive ions. Okay. Behind me there is a link to this channel. I mean this video itself. So once the video gets done, I'm going to upload these notes onto a Telegram channel. You can check notes. So you don't have to write too much down. Just listen to what I'm saying right now. So the general steps in salt analysis क्या थे? पहले figure out the preliminary examination, then figure out anions, and then after that in the end we can do cations as well. So the focus now is going to be completely on this session on cations. A little bit of cations was covered in the first session when I was talking about flame test and all of that. वो हम लोग फिर से एक बार छोटे से तरीके से कर लेंगे. ठीक है? Let's first classify the cations into different groups, just like we did. Anions में there were 3 groups. Cations are going to be 6 plus 1. 6 plus 1 is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 and 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 0. 0 is NH4 plus. It's a very fascinating thing. खैर मेरे सर के ऊपर कुछ लिखे हैं. It says very clearly insoluble salts are not included in this. Yeah, and these are the cations that are in your syllabus. So हमारा focus अभी ये होगा. Okay. Anions. तो हम लोग कर चुके हैं. We've covered all this. This was group 1. Okay. These 3 are group 1. And group 2 कौन से हो गए? ये चारों हो गए group 2. And this is group 3. I'll make a short very quickly. I've already shot the short and it'll come to you soon. It's being edited today itself. There's an amazing person who's helping us out, Aniket on the editing team and Sapto Parna from the content team. They're helping us out edit this. Okay, the short will come out soon. We will summarize everything in this anion wala business. Cool. Let's start right now. Okay. So here are the different ones in your syllabus, right? 0, group 1, group 2, group 3. कुछ extra भी हैं. Syllabus में ऊपर वाले हैं and these are all of them. The idea is that you have to do it in this order. Let's say except this. Except this. आपको ये सारे टेस्ट ऑर्डर में करने, मतलब कि पहले आप डालो HCl. अगर प्रेसिपिटेट हुआ देन यू नो इट्स ग्रुप 1. अगर प्रेसिपिटेट नहीं हुआ तो उसको जो फिल्ट्रेट है, मतलब डिकैंटेट या जो भी बोलते हैं, डिकैंटेट फिल्ट्रेट इज द सेम थिंग ऑफ सेइंग कि मैंने इसको रिएक्ट किया और उसमें जो पानी निकला लिक्विड निकला, दैट आई रिएक्ट विद समथिंग एल्स. सो दैट्स व्हाट आई एम डूइंग. बट ये सब क्यों कर रहे हैं? आई विल टॉक अबाउट दैट वेरी क्विकली. ओके. सो इसके बाद पहले वी टेस्ट विद HCl, देन वी टेस्ट विद सम मिक्सचर ऑफ H2S and HCl, then we test with NH4Cl and NH4OH, and then we test with some more things. Okay, H2S in presence of H2 and NH4OH. Oh बाप रे, इतनी ढेर सारी चीजें. थोड़ा डर लग रहा है? Don't worry. I'll give you the logic behind why we do this. I have told you this from the starting of salt analysis कि कैट आयंस में प्लीज रिवाइज आयोनिक इक्विलिब्रियम, दिस हैज टू डू विद केएसपी वैल्यूज, जिसकी केएसपी वैल्यू हुई सबसे कम वो सबसे जल्दी हो जाएगा प्रेसिपिटेट. ओके, सो दिस ओवर हियर, दिस ऑर्डर हैज टू बी फॉलोड बिकॉज इफ फॉर सम रीजन, राइट, आप ग्रुप 1 वाला जो है इसको कर रहे हो and you directly maybe you add this, maybe it will precipitate, and that's not good because lead does precipitate with sulfide ions, but you want to detect it early. तो इसीलिए इस ऑर्डर में करना जरूरी है. और बार बार मैं बोल रहा हूं ये ऑर्डर में ग्रुप 0 इज एन एक्सेप्शन. जैसे थर्मोडायनेमिक्स के लॉज थे ना, पहले हुए 1 2 3 और फिर बाद में हुआ अरे ये तो ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, देन वी नेम इट 0. तो ग्रुप 0 इज समथिंग लाइक दैट, वेयर एज यू विल लुक एट इट लेटर. ओके, तो वो कंप्लीटली अलग है, तो we'll study this separately. But for all of the cation analysis, you need to go in this specific order. Don't let all of these scare you. We'll talk about the ones that are in your syllabus specifically. ठीक है? You'll notice something interesting over here though. Look at this. Okay, यहाँ पे H2S और HCl, यहाँ पे सिर्फ HCl. Then यहाँ पे NH4OH and NH4Cl. मतलब there is some common ion thing that's going on over here. Okay, so this is a strong base. Okay, and what is this? This is a salt. Okay, of a strong acid and a weak base. तो कुछ कॉमन आयन का कॉन्सेप्ट हो रहा है यहाँ पे. ठीक है, एंड देन यू विल सी अगेन, यहाँ पे देखो फिर से आ रहा है NH4OH, फिर से आ रहा है NH4OH. तो यू आर गोइंग इन बेसिक मीडिया हियर, बट इसकी कॉन्सेंट्रेशन, दैट मींस दैट KSP ऑफ दिस सॉल्ट, जिंक का सॉल्ट, इज ग्रेटर देन द KSP ऑफ एल्यूमिनियम का सॉल्ट. ओके, लेट मी जस्ट राइट दैट डाउन हियर. Zn2+ का सॉल्ट, व्हाटएवर सॉल्ट इट is greater than KSP of Al3+. Since KSP Al3+ का सॉल्ट का कम है, वो जल्दी प्रेसिपिटेट हो जाता है, कम कॉन्सेंट्रेशन पे भी ऑफ OH- आयंस. दैट्स द की आइडिया है. कुछ फॉलो कहीं कर रहा है या सब लोग सो गए? ये समझ में आया KSP का कॉन्सेप्ट? इस पे 100% सवाल आ सकता है. अब सब लोग उठ जाएंगे, अरे सवाल आ सकता है नीट में, चलो सुन लेते हैं. सो KSP आइडियाज आर इनग्रेन्ड इन दिस सॉल्ट एनालिसिस. ठीक है, चलो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड राइट नाउ. ओके, क्या क्या स्टेप्स होते हैं इसमें? प्रिलिमिनरी टेस्ट होता है कि यार चलो जला के देख लेते हैं, फ्लेम टेस्ट एंड ऑल दैट, एंड देन देयर आर वेट टेस्ट. वी विल फोकस ऑन द वेट टेस्ट. प्रिलिमिनरी टेस्ट हम लोग 1-2 मिनट में खत्म कर लेते हैं. 1-2 मिनट में क्यों? क्योंकि हम लोग सो डिटेल में कर चुके हैं सम ऑफ देम. ओके, द फर्स्ट आइडेंटिफिकेशन इज लुकिंग एट द कलर ऑफ द सब्सटेंस सेल्फ, देन देयर इज अ ड्राई हीटिंग एंड देयर इज अ फ्लेम टेस्ट. ओके, कलर मतलब अगर सॉल्ट कलर्ड है तो अब उससे आप आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हो. सम सॉल्ट्स आर कलर्ड, but this is a very crude way of figuring it out. But anyway, here is a list of all the salts that I have for you. Out of these, आपके syllabus में है iron, right? Fe2+ and Fe3+, specifically Fe3+ is in your syllabus, copper 2+ is in your syllabus, nickel भी है आपके syllabus में, cobalt I don't think is in your syllabus, and manganese भी syllabus में नहीं है. So you need to know the first 3 of these for sure, okay? That light green or yellow colored or brown colored salts could be probably Fe3+. Blue हमेशा almost is copper, cobalt भी हो सकता है, but ठीक है. Blue in your syllabus is copper and bright green is nickel. Okay, that's all we have so far on this idea. Dry heating में अब उसको गर्म करो, what happens? Does something happen? Well, you take some amount of the dry salt, very small amount. Dry test में पानी नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay, and अगर कलर बदल रहा है hot और cold में, तब जो है हो सकता है कुछ हो सकता है. I have covered this in the first session also. मैं quickly यहाँ पे बस बता रहा हूँ. अगर blue से white हो रहा है मतलब it loses the water hydration. Copper sulfate और copper salt generally हाइड्रेट होके ब्लो जाते हैं, वाटर हाइड्रेशन हट जाता है, इसलिए व्हाइट हो गए. ठीक है, एंड अ लॉट ऑफ दीज आइडियाज हैव द सेम कॉन्सेप्ट, बट सम ऑफ देम आर सम कॉन्सेप्ट थोड़ा अलग है. वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू गो इनटू डिटेल बिकॉज़ के सिलेबस में है नहीं. दिस में सीम लाइक इट्स अ लॉट ऑफ मगिंग एंड आई गेस इट इज यार, आई गेस इट इज. इसलिए मैं आपको ये नोट्स दे दूंगा. प्लीज मेक फ्लैश कार्ड आउट ऑफ दिस एंड ट्राई एंड रिकॉल दिस. दिस इज द ओनली वे टू फिगर दिस आउट. आउट ऑफ ऑल ऑफ दिस, दिस इज नॉट योर सिलेबस. ये 3 आयंस हैं आपके सिलेबस में. फ्लेम टेस्ट हम लोग कर चुके हैं, बट अगेन आई विल टेक at least a minute to talk about it. You mix the cations with concentrated HCl and you heat it with platinum or nichrome and gives a characteristic बहुत प्यारा सा फ्लेम देता है. ठीक है, सोडियम सबसे स्ट्रॉन्ग गोल्डन येलो फ्लेम देता है. आपके सिलेबस में कौन सा है? कैल्शियम है, बेरियम है और सोडियम है. बाकी आपके सिलेबस में नहीं है, so don't worry about all this. ठीक है, बस सोडियम और ये है. Now this is yellow flame, break red flame और हरा flame. That's what you need to know. But अगर मिक्सचर ऑफ सॉल्ट है, which means you have sodium and something else, वो येलो कलर, it is very very strong. It hides the red color, it hides the barium color. So what do you do? अगर मिक्सचर ऑफ सॉल्ट्स है तो then you use something called cobalt blue glass. ये भी we are making a short on this as well. Wait for it to come out. Okay, what cobalt blue glass is, it makes the yellow color transparent. As soon as it does that, then दूसरा कलर उभर के बाहर आ जाता है. But it removes the yellow part of that flame as well. मतलब कि कैल्शियम सोडियम ब्रिक रेड से येलो हटा दिया, बच गया ग्रीन. तो इसलिए कैल्शियम लगता है लाइट ग्रीन और ये लगता है स्ट्रॉन्शियम लगता है पर्पल और बेरियम लगता है ब्लूइश ग्रीन. बफरिंग हो रहा है, ठीक है वैष्णवी, आई विल जस्ट चेक ऑन माय फोन आल्सो क्विकली टू सी अगर कोई चक्कर है हमारे स्ट्रीम में. वैसे ओवर हियर देयर डज नॉट सीम टू बी एनी इशू राइट on my side, but yeah it's all right dude, I have just checked on my phone, yeah things seem to be going okay. कोई डाउट है so far? This stuff we already covered, okay, but I'm just quickly repeating it for your benefit अगर याद नहीं हुआ all that, because हम लोग पहली बार कर रहे हैं लाइफ में, at least in NEET, right? JEE में तो बहुत बार कर चुके हैं, NEET पे पहली बार कर रहे हैं. Let's now move on to the main part of this session, which are the wet tests for the conformation of cations. Okay. Now cations के 6 groups हैं plus NH4 plus, right? So the first step is to make a clear and transparent solution of the salt. Okay. Original solution है आपका, original solution, clear and transparent वाला. And then you go in this very strict order of 1 to 6. I'll talk about this strict order. पहले let's talk about the exception. The exception. अगर NH4 plus है or I do something to get that pungent, beautiful smell of ammonia, then I know कि yeah, इसमें है NH4 plus ion. So we will do all kinds of funky things to make sure कि ammonium ion से ammonia निकल जाए और उसकी strong smell से we can identify that boss, this has to be because of NH4 plus, because it could not be anything else. Could not be anything else. All right. So what do you do here? You take this and you dissolve it in NaOH. It's as simple as that. As soon as you do that, you get the smell of ammonia. It's literally that simple. NH4 NaOH में डालो, अगर smell आए ammonia की, then you're done. Okay, that's an indication. Okay, the confirmatory test is that ये जो बना आपके पास, what you get is NH4Cl. Okay, but to get there, I react with HCl. So I take ammonia gas and sodium hydroxide. So what I get is NH4OH. Now this NH4OH I react with HCl and you get fumes of NH4Cl. ये आपने बहुत बार देखा होगा, right? You've seen these reactions. You've got some cotton swabs on two sides, और उन दोनों में आप लोग जो है दोनों तरफ से गैस पास करते हैं. You pass HCl on one side, NH4OH on the other side, and they meet somewhere, not in the middle, somewhere else, and वहाँ पे white fumes आने लगते हैं. That's the NH4OH वाला. Hello, Sandeep. You able to follow this, right? So that is the confirmatory test of NH4 plus ions. Okay. पहला मैंने NaOH के साथ डाला तो इसकी इस गैस की स्मेल, oh god, strong smell. That's a very strong indicator of yes, this has NH4 plus ions. And then I react, that same ammonia is formed with HCl and I get NH4OH, NH4Cl fumes. Okay, that's one test. Another one, and this is the one that's examiner's favorite, is using Nessler's reagent. Nessler's reagent क्या बोला होता है? K2HgI4. This is HgI4 2 minus ion. Okay, this is a complex compound. This iska potassium salt. Okay, this is called as Nessler's reagent. I react this in an acidic medium close to this solution. Okay, as soon as I do that, सफेद fume आते हैं. Okay, that सफेद fume I put through through K2HgI4 and I get a brown precipitate. This brown precipitate confirms that oh, इसमें था ammonia. एक और scary चीज यहाँ पे दिख रही है, right? Some weird kind of a thing I've made. It's all right, Anamika, no tension. इस चीज में ज्यादातर कहानियां ही है, समझने वाली चीज कम है. समझने वाली बस एक चीज है कि Ksp वैल्यू से कुछ रिलेशनशिप है, right? What the relationship is, I've mentioned starting, check it out. But you gotta just hopefully listen carefully and understand. नहीं फिर notes हैं, notes पढ़ के बाद में पढ़ लेना, no tension. So ammonia, I react with NaOH, okay, and then I get NH4OH. That when I react with Nessler's reagent, which is K2HgI4, I get this oxymercuric ammonium iodide. Ammonium iodide. Okay, this is the formula for it. And this is a brown precipitate. This is also known as iodide of, I don't know how to pronounce this guy, Millen's base. Let's call it Millen's base. Okay. You get this brown coloration and this confirms कि yes, मेरे पास था ammonia to start off with. All right, Shulaksha, no tension, no tension. बहुत कम gap था ना between the last one and this one. Let's quickly look at a small animation. Maybe it will help you remember this better. You have Nessler's reagent, you have NaOH. No, you have the salt first. You have the salt. Salt में आप drops डाल रहे हो potassium hydroxide या फिर NaOH की, either way. The main thing is to get OH minus ions solution concept, OH minus ions in the solution. तुरंत निकलता है ammonia gas. OH minus से आते ही निकलता है NH4OH, ammonia निकलने लगता है. That ammonia goes into this and it forms nice brown precipitate, which is, what was the name of that? Millen's iodide of Millen's base, right? Which is HgO.HgNH2I. ठीक है? Cool. I know I can't really ask you if you guys have any doubts because, well, it's just a reaction that's happening. उसमें क्या doubt होगा? But if you have any doubts, please go ahead. ठीक है? Now, this is important. Ammonia अलग था, NH4 plus ions अलग थे, तो we have tackled that. Let's talk about something extremely important right now. For the analysis of cations that belong to groups 1 to 6, you've got to, कहाँ गया? रुको. कहानी हम लोग बोल रहे थे, स्लाइड ही बदल गई. For the analysis of cations that belong to groups 1 to 6, you've got to precipitate them from the original solution by using some sort of group reagents. वो group reagents मैं आपको बता चुका हूँ, but you must see that this happens in order. Okay, which order? 1 to 6. इसी में जाना पड़ेगा. 0 हो गया, 0 छोड़ दो. 1 to 6. Varsha, what do you not understand? Can you repeat? Is this part? We're talking about cation analysis, guys. Salt analysis, Varsha, if you've just joined. You know, Varsha, you've been around. We're talking about salt analysis. We did anions in the first 2 sessions. Right now, we're doing cations. The process is the same, right? Can I take a salt? मैं उसको पहले बनाऊं उसका transparent solution. Okay. After that, I mess around with it to see. ये test, वो test, confirmatory. That's all that's happening. We've got to do it in order. यानी कि the idea is that जिसका सबसे कम हुआ Ksp value, that is going to precipitate out first. Okay. Can I VO? What is VO? I didn't get that. Is V next to G? It is. Yeah, absolutely. You can go do it. It's like a free-for-all country kind of a thing. You can do anything you like. Any doubts so far, guys? Any doubts? Somebody said they don't understand. So I'm just trying to follow. What is it that you don't understand? If you can help me with that, I'm here to figure things out for you. Right? But abhi tak, at least till now, I have the only thing worth understanding that I've said is, look, जिसकी KSP value हुई सबसे कम, वो होगा सबसे पहले precipitate. KSP value कहाँ से आई? Oops. Hold on. Apologies. One sec. Sorry, that went off. My bad. Yeah. I just realized that OBS se galti se I clicked something and the whole thing went off. Don't worry about that. Okay. So KSP value jiski hui sabse kam, that salt is going to precipitate out first. Okay. That's why that thing is written right on top of my head right over here. Okay. Varsha, anything that you don't follow here? Anything you don't follow? So each group, which is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, there is a common reagent you use to separate out the ions from solution. Matlab the goal is precipitate karna. Okay. To identify whether it is this cation or that cation, you will precipitate the ones out that have the lowest Ksp. Lowest Ksp किसका होगा? That ion with a counter ion. मतलब कुछ positive ion है, कुछ negative ion है, दोनों combine किया और वो हो गया precipitate. अब सबसे low Ksp जिसका होगा उसको सबसे पहले precipitate करेंगे. So the first thing you do is you try and precipitate out lead का group. Okay, we'll talk about that very soon. I'll talk about that. Okay. So why do you do this? You have to do it in order because it is possible that जो first group का reagent है और जो fifth group का reagent है, ये दोनों को precipitate कर दे. We had different ions in all of these. Okay, we had different ions. All of these groups have different ions mostly. Now, if you will see that इसमें भी lead है, इसमें भी lead है, और इसमें कुछ aluminium है, इसमें कुछ iron है, right? So whatever works for this guy will also work for this guy. So you have to do it in order. अगर आप गलती से fourth वाला पहले कर दो third से, you will get a positive test for both. So it will not work. Does that make sense? I'll repeat it when we are in that particular group itself. It's important, and theoretically speaking, cations analysis have to be done in this order. Okay, separation must be in this sequence because the test they eliminate. पहले इसको eliminate किया, पहले फिर उसको, फिर उसको, फिर उसको. So here are the group reagents. This is the most important thing that you need to, kind of make a note of. Okay, and I'll give you this on the Telegram so you can take this and all that. अगर ये थोड़ा छोटा लग रहा है तो maybe just zoom in right now. On the PDF it will be fine, right? There are some extra radicals here. Our focus in the first group is going to be Pb2+. HCl के साथ it forms PbCl2 and हो गया ये precipitate. That means it's done. And you'll see interestingly Pb2+ फिर से second group में भी है. So Pb2+ will also precipitate with H2S. Pb2+ के साथ और कौन सा है syllabus में? Copper 2+ है, right? So copper 2+ and Pb2+ will both precipitate with H2S in the form of sulphides. ठीक है? Next है, so this is one idea. Okay. Next है in the presence of NH4 OH and NH4Cl. मतलब बहुत कम OH minus ion solution में आपका हो जाएगा precipitate aluminium और iron दोनों. Okay. अगर OH minus ion concentration थोड़ा बढ़ गया, मतलब कि H2S in ammoniacal medium, I am adding NH3 and H2S. Okay. Then I can get these precipitates in the form of zinc and nickel and all that. आपके syllabus में सिर्फ zinc और ये nickel. The ones highlighted are in your syllabus. Okay. Shivakami, there will be one more session. Iske baad there will be one more session that will finish up all of cations. Okay. In this one, I'm going to cover until group 3, group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 next वाले में करेंगे. ठीक है, group 3 का भी आधा करेंगे हम लोग as time permits, right? So, lastly, basically, you add these guys, precipitate things out as carbonates. Those generally carbonates are very soluble. So, in this order, if I were to draw this thing, Ksp is increasing. Okay, that is a theoretical idea you need to understand. In some salts, Ksp values are increasing as you go down the group. Down what group? Down all of these. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 आप जाओगे, Ksp values बढ़ रही है. Okay, so this is very interesting. Now, the sulphide will यहाँ पे जो हो रहा है, this gives a test of zinc and this gives a test of copper. So अगर if I do not follow the second step, मैंने directly H2S डाल दिया, तो उसमें precipitate होगा C, ये भी precipitate होगा और ये भी precipitate होगा, दो both will precipitate out. Okay, and that's a problem because, well, this precipitates at a very, very small concentration. This needs a higher concentration to precipitate out. Are you able to follow this? Yeah, you must do things in order. If you decide to go to the fourth and then do the second, it will give the test for both. So you'll say कि हाँ भाई, इसमें तो for sure है zinc, but it could also be cadmium, right? Cadmium, I know, not in your syllabus. Let's say lead. Lead is over here. Okay, lead is in your syllabus, zinc in your syllabus. Now, if I skip 2 and I go to step 4 directly, matlab I put H2S in ammonia nickel medium, in that case, it will give you a false positive. So you must do it in order. Do you guys follow this? This is important, okay? Ksp values ke karan, you must do 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 in this order of reagents. Cool. Here is another schematic of the same thing. This guy then goes to here. I'll give these to you. You can check this out, okay? This is what is most popular. I was not really able to make a nice infographic out of this, but this image is the most popular one to understand all of cation analysis. Okay? Cool. Let's start with the first group right now. We've looked at 0. First group, your syllabus only has Pb2+. Okay? So what are you going to do? I'm going to take AgC. I'm going to take HCl. Okay? HCl के साथ बन जाते हैं PbCl2 का precipitate, and you're like, boss, this is it. This is it. Okay? This gives me a precipitate. Now, when I react this with potassium iodide, you get a yellow precipitate of lead iodide, and that confirms कि Pb2+ है. Now, you see that the same confirmatory test also works for group 2. Okay, the second group. I know this is a little nerve-wracking. You're like, boss, क्या बोल रहा है यार? यहाँ पे भी काम करा, उसमें भी काम करेगा. Yeah, lead is in both the groups because it precipitates out with chlorine and chloride ions, and it precipitates with sulphide ions. Okay, the second group has to do with sulphide ions. Cool. This is soluble in boiling water and reappears as soon as you cool it down as these shining crystals of PbI2. Chat काफी शांत है. मुझे लग रहा है कि आप लोग डर गए इससे क्योंकि maybe you've never done this before and all of it is extremely new. It's extremely new. I understand that. But yeah, salt analysis is new and this is hardcore salt analysis. It will be fun अगर आप इसको actually lab में करें. बिना lab में किए हुए life could be difficult. I understand that. ठीक है. You dissolve in HCl, you dissolve the salt in HCl, and the moment you add Ki, it gives you this beautiful yellow precipitate, and that's how you get it confirms कि बन गया PbI2, मतलब lead is confirmed. Okay, this is the general idea of this. Cool. The confirmatory test for this is add K2CrO4. 1 minute. Have you seen this somewhere? Have you seen this somewhere? Have you seen this somewhere? Lead chromate test. Shalini, कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा? Shalini, what is it जो समझ नहीं आ रहा? बताओ. I'll try and explain again. Salt analysis ऐसा ही यार, मैं करूँ क्या? It is literally just a lot of reactions that are happening one after the other. What do you want me to explain, Shalini? बताओ. I'll help you out. You want me to repeat from scratch कि what is all of this कि शुरू से क्या कर रहे हैं? Anion was okay. Anion when you guys attended, I don't think there was such a this thing, right? क्योंकि anion सिर्फ 3 थे. Cations में है 6. So maybe that's what is scaring you guys away. There are 6 groups, right? But the idea is the same. In anion analysis also, you said कि you will do this only dilute HCl, then dilute H2, then concentrate H2SO4, then दोनों से नहीं हो रहा है, then you do तीसरा. Cations में भी यही हो रहा है. First you add HCl, then you add something else, then you add something else, then you add something else, then you add something else. हर चीज में एक चीज gets eliminated. So firstly, I add HCl. HCl से dissolve हो गया, and after that if I put Ki, then it has lead 2+. That's all that has happened so far. That's all. समझने कुछ है ही नहीं और कुछ है ही नहीं. अमोनिया का अलग था, इसलिए हमने अमोनिया कहानी पहले देख ली. अमोनिया में डाल दिया NH4OH, उससे निकला अमोनिया, NH3 बहुत पंजेंट है, पंजेंट चीज को हमने डाला नेस्लर्स रिएजेंट में। देखो मुझे आपको पढ़ाते पढ़ाते याद हो गया, आई डिडंट नो दिस, आई डिड नॉट नो दिस बिफोर टीचिंग यू, राइट, दिस सो कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, राइट। नेस्लर्स रिएजेंट डालो, बन गया ब्राउनिश प्रेसिपिटेट, मतलब है अमोनिया इन द सॉल्यूशन, मतलब है NH4+ इन सॉल्यूशन। देयर आई रिमेंबर ग्रुप 0, ग्रुप 1 में लेड में HCl में डाला, फिर डाला Ki, and then oh you got PbI2, done. Next test of Pb2+ is simply this PbCl2 that you got by putting with HCl, reaction with K2CrO4, you get PbCrO4, which is a yellow precipitate of lead chromate. Here this reaction is going to look very similar to the last one, because exactly where you're at, nothing new is happening, right? You've got the original solution, which is also OS, is what we are writing over here, right? Isko you react with HCl and then drop by drop, right? You get PbCl2. Following that, you add K2CrO4, which is potassium chromate, right? K2CrO4 chromate, not dichromate. You add chromate, you get yellow precipitate of PbCrO4, and that's confirmed. You'll be like कि यार PbCrO4 भी yellow दे रहा है, PbI2 भी yellow दे रहा है. That's because both of their Ksp values are very low, इसलिए वो बहुत आसानी से precipitate कर जाता है. ठीक है? All right, awesome. ठीक है? That's a confirmatory test of Pb2+ ions. Cool? ठीक है? Any doubts so far? I know you said कि पहले कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा था. I hope this is maybe a little bit better. Okay. Now this same PbCrO4, it is soluble in hot NaOH. Once you put it in NaOH, you get this complex Na2PbOH4, and this is called as sodium tetrahydroxoplumbate. Think of this as inorganic chemistry, because this is hardcore inorganic chemistry. Okay. And आपके सिलेबस में बहुत चीजें हटा दी गई और ये थोड़ी डरावनी चीजें ऐड भी कर दी गई. क्या करें हम? I'll tell you one thing. Why don't you guys look up the Ksp value of lead? मैं भी करता हूं. Ksp of PbI2, okay, and Ksp of PbS. दोनों का आप Ksp वैल्यू देख के मुझे बताओ क्या है. Ksp वैल्यू क्या है? देख के बताओ. देख के बताओ. Do you want to do that? Let's do a quick exercise. Okay. I have Googled it along with you guys. The Ksp of PbS, let me put that over here, okay, is 9 to 10 power minus 29. देखो कितना छोटा है, देखो कितना tiny है. And that of PbI2 is this value. ठीक है, बहुत हाई है, मतलब बहुत जल्दी प्रेसिपिटेट हो जाता है, थोड़ा सा हाई डालने से प्रेसिपिटेट हो जाता है. ठीक है, आई एम पुटिंग एक्चुअल Ksp values. This is not in a syllabus, but this is just to help you understand कि भाई क्यों, why are you doing lead first? Because वो बहुत आसानी से प्रेसिपिटेट हो जाता है. ठीक है, cool. Do you see that? What is this? Why मैंने I2 और इसका क्यों लिखा? We are on slide 49. I will get back to that. Why did I write this? Why did I write this? See this. यहां पे है lead, okay, in the second group, precipitating out as PbS. Here there is lead precipitating out as Cl2. इसका है 10 power minus 8, इसका है 10 power minus 29. So, if it is very easy to precipitate something out, उसको पहले कर लेते हैं ना precipitate, okay? As you go here, Ksp value घटती जाती है. It keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, let's look at Ksp value of what? Barium carbonate. Shall we do that? Ksp of BaCO3. Okay, this is 5 into 10 power minus 9. Yeah, ये भी छोटी सी value है. So after this session, please go ahead and do this exercise of trying and finding out the whole क्या बोलते हैं इसको, Ksp values, so that this makes a lot more sense. Do you guys know what Ksp is, right? I hope आप equilibrium पढ़े हैं life में, because if not, then yeah, just tell me. I'll help you out with that as well. Yeah, PbCl2 का Ksp क्या है? This is 10 power minus 13. Okay, cool. This 10 power minus 29. So get a feel of this कि ये बहुत छोटे छोटे वैल्यू है, इसलिए वो बहुत आसानी से प्रेसिपिटेट कर जाते हैं. Does that help a little bit, or is it still scary? It's okay, just be honest. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. अगर लग रहा है it's still scary तो बोल दो यार it's still scary. No tension, कोई I will not feel bad or anything. It is what it is यार. Syllabus में क्या करें? Syllabus में है क्या करें? Right? खैर, let's go back to slide number 49 and continue where we were at. Okay. So what you get over here is this guy here, sodium tetrahydroxoplumbate 2, which is like a scary name. This is from coordination compounds. Okay. How do I get this name? From coordination compounds. If I give you the formula, you'll be able to remember this. Hydroxoplumbate, because there's OH, there's 4, so that's tetra. 2 is the valency of lead inside it. Okay, you can check that out. अगर ये Pb2+ है, OH का 4 होगा, so you have 2+ from Pb okay, and 4 of OH minus, let me put that here, OH minus 4, which is 4 into minus 1. So iska pura hoga minus 2. And that makes sense because see, you've got Na2 over here. So Na2 means there is 2 plus 1 charges. Okay, that balances out. So do this little bit of thoda effort lagao. This will help you remember this easier. Okay. Otherwise, I understand this is like a lot of scary compound. How are you going to remember this? Okay. Another way to test lead is you take this PbCl2, react with H2SO4 और बन जाएगा PbSO4, which is a white precipitate. Okay. So PbCl2 की value Ksp is relatively higher than that of PbSO4. We'll look that up as well. Okay. I'll look that up as well with you. PbSO4 Ksp value. Okay. This is 10 power minus 8. Okay. Beautiful. What is that of Cl2 का क्या था? याद है किसी को? PbCl2 का Ksp वैल्यू क्या था? That is 10 power minus 5. ठीक है? 10 power minus 5. Low solubility product 10 power minus 5. So this is 10 power minus 5. This is 10 power minus 8. मतलब ये और भी छोटा है. I'm just looking up things online. These values may be off a little bit here. This 10 power minus 13, in one place it says. ठीक है? We'll look that up. But the main thing is that as soon as you put it in an acidic medium, it precipitates out as a white precipitate, and you know, okay, lead must be present there. Cool. कोई doubts है तो बता लो. I will try and address them. But this is inorganic chemistry. मैं क्या बोलूँ आपको? Yeah, lot of theory. Just have to remember it. So yeah, what's happening here? I take hot alcohol, okay, and I add it to this PbSO4. I add H2SO4 to it as well, diluted. And as soon as you do that, you look at that beautiful सफेद color का precipitate gets formed, and that's like, yeah, lead बन गया क्योंकि you've got PbSO4. Okay, let's move on. Cool. The second group also happens to have lead, and this becomes very, very interesting क्योंकि इसमें है Pb2 plus and copper 2 plus ions. Okay, hold on, let me just go back to that. So in this, the tests of this group are going to have, what are you going to do here? हम लोग add कर रहे थे इधर second group में H2S in the presence of HCl. So what is H2S in the presence of HCl? देखो, H2S will give you H plus, and it, well, technically it should give you HS minus, right? And then that HS minus will then give you H plus and S2 minus. This is what will happen here. HCl क्या करेगा? HCl देगा आपको, oh, this is not going to be a double headed arrow, this is going to be a single headed arrow, right? Will give you this and this. So this will reduce the concentration of sulphide ions. कम कर देगा sulphide ion concentration. Do you see that? This is what I meant by ionic equilibrium को पढ़ के आओ. HCl and dilute and H2S को add करने से क्या होगा? I am putting a very, very small concentration of sulphide ion. क्यों? क्योंकि बहुत ही कम sulphide ion concentration में ये कर जाएगा precipitate. And later on, I'll increase the concentration of sulphide ion. So in this case, यहाँ पे I have to increase the concentration. Okay, here in this guy's case. Okay, in group 4. In group 2, I have a low concentration of sulphide ions. Do you see that? Hey Lavanya, do you guys see that? Group 2 और group 4 में क्या फर्क है? दोनों में H2S है. Group 2 में you have small concentration of sulphide ion because you have a common ion effect pulling back that. Okay, so बहुत कम concentration में precipitate हो जाता है. इसका थोड़ा ज्यादा डालना पड़ेगा. To put a lot more. So Ksp value is higher. Okay, Ksp of group 4 is greater than Ksp of group 2. Okay, just proving that to you with this. This is the logic part. ये समझने वाला part हो गया इसमें, ठीक है? Rest of it, I know there's a lot of mugging, but this is the understanding वाला part. Did you follow this? Any doubts on this part? कि H2S adding with HCl का क्या मतलब है? ये आपको कोई नहीं पढ़ाएगा. Okay, maybe अगर लोग पढ़ाएंगे तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, but people tend to skip this part in salt analysis. ये बोलते हैं यार मत कर लो, ये है वो है जो भी है, ठीक है? So I've added H2S in the presence of HCl. What that means is कि बहुत कम concentration of H2 minus I'm giving. Okay, बहुत कम concentration. अगर उतने बहुत कम concentration में ही if there's a precipitate that comes, then oh, confirm हो गया भाई group 2 cation में. What are group 2 cations? You've got two of them. Okay, copper 2 plus or Pb2 plus. And this guy right here, if you get a black precipitate, then confirm, not confirm, it's indicatory कि यार you've got the copper 2 plus or Pb2 plus in solution. How do you confirm this? Confirm करने के लिए you have separate tests, right? Pb2 plus का तो आपको मालूम है. Pb2 plus what are you going to do? You're going to add Ki, बन जाएगा yellow, PbI2. Then you will add K2Cr4, बन जाएगा PbCr4. That's also yellow. That's it. Lakshya, what's up? Good evening. How are you doing? To Cu2 plus ka we look at right now. Pb2 plus we already done. Pb2 plus is very similar to group 1. Okay, because it's still Pb2 plus. The only difference is हमने पहले HCl में उसको dissolve किया था, and now in this case we're just confirming it फिर से. Okay, HNO3 में डालो. That's another one. Okay, on HNO3 what you get is a redox reaction. This is the best way to remember these reactions, right? Sometimes you gotta mug a lot. In this case, we can maybe add some logic to it. Okay, you've got a couple of things written over here, सफेद precipitate and all that. This is something I've already mentioned. Alcohol में डालो, H2SO4, PbS4 बनता है, PbI2 बनता है, PbCrO4 बनता है. I've told you all of this. But first, if you do this dilute HNO3 वाला business, what you get is lead nitrate. Okay, that with H2SO4 gives you a white precipitate. क्यों? क्योंकि इसका Ksp value कम है. क्या है Ksp value इसका? Please यार, look it up. Look it up. I'm blurring the screen. Sorry about that. Thank you for pointing it out. ये कैमरा अजीब सा है, तो ये कैमरे के अजीब this weirdness of the camera कभी-कभी pops up. Thank you, Lakshya. Thank you, Lakshya, for pointing it out. We fixed it now. Yeah. So multiple ways of getting to the same thing. What is the same thing? A precipitate of lead sulfate. जब हम लोग group 1 में देख रहे थे, we said let's get the precipitate by just adding H2SO4. In this case, since we've got a sulphide to start off with, उसमें था chloride. Group 1. Let me write that here. Okay. In group 1, you had PbCl2. Okay. So I was like, let's add H2SO4 directly, and you get PbSO4. But here we are not doing that. Here we are saying add HNO3. Okay, HNO3 से बन रहा है NO2, ये हो रहा है redox reaction, this is oxidized, this gets reduced, etc. ये सब कुछ हो रहा है, and you get nitrate. Now this nitrate reacts easily with H2SO4. PbS won't react with H2SO4. ठीक है, this will react with H2SO4. All right, you're welcome, Lakshya. Any doubts so far? Any doubts? See, now there's nothing to mug. Now we're getting into hardcore understanding of stuff. शुरुआत में लगा था मगिंग है, right? Because just a starting idea. I hope this one is all right. यहाँ पे जो हो रहा है, this is okay. The other test you already know, right? This white precipitate dissolves in ammonium acetate on boiling, and उसके बाद तुम उसमें add करोगे potassium chromate, gives you yellow precipitate, and you add potassium iodide, gives you yellow precipitate. I'm not rushing this. We have literally just done this. Okay, in group 1 हमने just अभी ये सब चीजें की थी. कौन सी चीजें? क्रोमेट के साथ बनता है लेड क्रोमेट, आयोडाइड के साथ बनता है येलो लेड आयोडाइड. एक्स्ट्रा चीज है ये PbSO4 जो व्हाइट था प्रेसिपिटेट, दिस इज अ व्हाइट प्रेसिपिटेट, दिस dissolves when I add this, and you get another really scary looking compound, ammonium tetraaceto-plumbate. Plumbate is just a fancy way of saying lead का compound. ठीक है, plumbum is the Latin name, right? Plumbate 2 क्यों? इसका चार्ज है 2+, इसका चार्ज है CH3CO माइनस इंटू 4 यानी कि -4, -4 + 2 यानी कि इस आयन का चार्ज होगा -2, NH4 प्लस का चार्ज है +1, राइट? सो दिस वन मेक सेंस. सो 2 of that मतलब ये सी है. This is from coordination compounds. We will do this in detail. If you already done it, you will follow what I just did. If you haven't, हम लोग जल्दी करेंगे. कल परसों we'll start. Maybe on Thursday or so we'll start on coordination compounds. So this will also be easy. Okay. So this is how you figure out lead. Copper 2+ का क्या करोगे? You know that is supposed to be blue. Convert it to a nitrate. Again, okay. Remember, what we are doing, I'll revise this again. Group 1 में क्या कर रहे हैं? We starting with sulphide, converting to nitrate. Nitrate से हम लोग खिलवाड़ कर रहे हैं. Same thing here. Add HNO3. Okay. HNO3 ऐड करते हैं, होता है redox reaction. Redox reaction में क्या हो रहा है? Sulphide हो रहा है oxidize. Okay. ये हो रहा है reduce. Okay. And what you get is copper nitrate. Now copper nitrate is beautiful blue color. Amazing blue color. Hey, Aisha, how you doing? This amazing blue color tells you that यहाँ पे जरूर होगा copper. जरूर होगा copper. Okay. And if you keep eating this for a long time, ये बेचारा बन जाएगा sulfate. और sulfate बेचारा नहीं हुआ. This gives you a nice blue color. Copper sulfate also is a blue color. When it is hydrated, मतलब जब होता है इसमें पानी, तब होता है blue color. थोड़ा सा उसमें NH4OH डालो and this will precipitate out. Just a little bit. Okay. ज्यादा डालो, it will dissolve and form tetraamine copper 2 complex. Now this is what annoys students a lot कि यार कितना याद रखेंगे लाइफ में, कॉपर ये करता है, वो करता है, ब्लू है, डार्क ब्लू है, क्या क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे, क्या क्या हो रहा है. रैटक्लिफ भाई पढ़ाई कर लेते हैं, थैंक यू, बट या लेट्स फोकस. इफ यू डोंट फॉलो एनीथिंग प्लीज टेल मी, आई विल ट्राई एंड हेल्प यू आउट. ऑलराइट, I know this topic is a little heavy. It is, right? It's a hardcore JEE advanced topic. I'm not talking about JEE Main. JEE advanced का topic है, ठीक है? But logically we can understand things. Okay. I will repeat the logic as soon as we go to the next group. इस ग्रुप को पहले हम लोग समझ लेते हैं. Copper 2+, sulphide, convert to nitrate. Nitrate के बाद क्या करोगे? नाइट्रेट के बाद ऐड करोगे अमोनिया, you get this. Okay, now this is very similar to there, the previous thing what we did. There we added an acetate ion over there, okay, in lead. Here you get this H2SO4 साथ react, HNO3 साथ sulfur react करके gives you H2SO4, which you don't want. But anyway, you don't want this, right? You want copper to react with SO4 directly. You get this fancy thing here that precipitates out. This is blue in color, and dark blue, अगर ज़्यादा ammonia डालो तो it forms the dark blue. This is a precipitate, okay. This one here is a precipitate. This is an aqueous solution. Cool. We'll do question on this. Don't worry. We'll do अगले सेशन में हम लोग बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस करेंगे. अभी हो गया कि ये थ्योरी और सवाल कहाँ है यार, पहले थ्योरी कर लेते फिर सवाल करेंगे. थ्योरी बहुत है, पूरी कर लेते हैं, then we'll do questions. Okay. The same blue solution on acidification with acetic acid. Then you add potassium ferrocyanide. फिर कुछ और होता है, रेडिश ब्राउन कलर होता है कॉपर फेरोसाइनाइड का. Okay. Now ferrocyanide again is a complex compound, FeCN6, okay, and ये क्या है 4 minus. How is it 4 minus? Because there is K4 over here. Get into this detail, ये जरूरी है. Ferrocyanide मतलब इसमें Fe2 plus. कैसे मालूम? देखो cyanide is -1, okay, into 6. Should not write -1. No, just ठीक है -1 मतलब कि -6 हो गया इसका चार्ज. अगर इसका चार्ज -6 है और प्लस Fe2 plus और टोटल वाले आयन का चार्ज है -4, then I mean Fe I don't know. Let's say theoretically I don't know Fe क्या है. ठीक है, equal to -4. That means that is X must be equal to +2. Hence I know that Fe2 plus है इस complex के अंदर. ठीक है. Hey Kumar, welcome back. Welcome back. So this potassium ferrocyanide is a complex that has iron in its 2 plus state. ये देता है reddish brown color because बन जाता है copper ferrocyanide. Now here copper ferrocyanide, is this a redox reaction? Let's see. Redox है कि नहीं? Quickly देखते हैं. Redox है कि नहीं? What do you think? Yes or no? You've got this guy to start off with. Okay. Acetic acid साथ बन गया ये और ये copper sulfate वापस. Copper sulfate साथ हमने react किया potassium hexacyanoferrate. Okay. 2 मतलब कि CN6 Fe in its +2 stage. And interestingly, you've again got Fe in its +2 stage. मतलब ये ion बिल्कुल effect नहीं हुआ. But copper में कुछ हुआ? नहीं, copper में भी कुछ नहीं हुआ. This is still copper 2 plus. यहाँ पे भी copper 2 plus था. This is not a redox reaction. This is just a double displacement. है ना? They can ask you a question like this also यार, कि कुछ precipitate बना. What type of reaction is this reaction? They can ask you things. You never know. NEET can ask you anything. This has never come in NEET before. So I'm just giving you all kinds of insights into all kinds of reactions that are related to this. चलो एक quick question लेते हैं. When excess of dilute NH4OH is added to an aqueous solution of copper sulfate, an intense blue color is developed. This is because of formation of what? Which of these 4 things? ये है, देखो मैंने डाल दिया एक सवाल आपके सामने. What do you think? When excess of dilute NH4OH is added to an aqueous solution of copper sulfate, an intense blue color is seen. Intense blue color किस चीज का होता है? ठीक है. Let's rule out options B and D because we know for sure that a complex is formed. Now, which complex is going to be? Is it this or is it this? ये पता करने के लिए आप लॉजिक लगाना नहीं सकते. यू कैन नॉट अप्लाई लॉजिक. ओके, आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू गिव यू द आंसर एंड इट इज दिस गाय राइट हियर. कैसे? मैंने अभी थियरी में पढ़ाया था इसलिए. आई कैन नॉट गो इनटू द डिटेल्स ऑफ दिस बिकॉज दिस इज फ्रॉम कोऑर्डिनेशन कंपाउंड्स. ओके, कॉपर कैन फॉर्म कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर ऑफ 4 और 6, दोनों कर सकता है. इन दिस केस इट फॉर्म द कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर ऑफ 4. पानी के साथ, वाटर के साथ फॉर्म द कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर ऑफ 6. डू यू गाइस नो व्हाट कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर इज? एक क्विक इनपुट दे दो मुझे. कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर मालूम है क्या होता है? यस और नो? कोऑर्डिनेशन नंबर मालूम है क्या होता है? ओके, ग्रेट. वन गाय सेज यस, दैट्स गुड इनफ फॉर मी. लॉजिक, फिर से लॉजिक बता रहा हूं. देखो, अभी व्हाट डिड वी डू? दिस ग्रुप 0 वाज सेपरेट. ओके, दैट वाज अमोनिया NH4+. ओके, सेपरेट. उसके बाद ग्रुप 1 में हमने डाला HCl. सिलेबस में है Pb2+. व्हाट वी डू? वी पुट Ki in it, we got PbI2. We put K2CrO4, we got PbCrO4 there. So both of these are yellow precipitate. ठीक है? And we put NH4OH, dissolve हुआ, फिर ज्यादा नहीं हुआ, वो सब चीजें थी. ठीक है? All that's it. Next idea we said, okay, in group 2, let's add H2S gas and HCl. H2S और HCl क्यों? H2S, I know ये थोड़ा scammy है. This is not the reaction. It happens in 2 steps. I know it happens in 2 steps, but just for the heck of it, entertain me and say कि एक step में हो रहा है. ठीक है? देखो, there is a common ion H+, यानी कि this reaction goes backward. Let me use a different color over here. Excuse me. That was not helpful. I should have covered the mic. Sorry about that. I don't know why I sneezed on the side. Should have covered the mic. My bad. खैर, this reaction goes backward. मतलब कि सल्फाइड आयन की कॉन्सेंट्रेशन हो गई कम. मतलब कि that is why ग्रुप 2 एंड ग्रुप 4 तुमको ऑर्डर में करना है. देखो ग्रुप 4 में भी H2S है. ग्रुप 4 विल डू द नेक्स्ट सेशन. बट ग्रुप 4 में भी H2S है. मतलब कि अगर मैंने जबरदस्ती बहुत ज्यादा H2S डाल दिया विदाउट डूइंग ग्रुप 2, देन आई विल से कि इसमें जिंक भी हो सकता है, लेड भी हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, निकल कुछ भी हो सकता है, राइट? इसलिए डू इट इन ऑर्डर. पहले यू ऐड वेरी टाइनी अमाउंट ऑफ H2S, बहुत टाइनी अमाउंट बाय HCl. सो वेरी वेरी स्मॉल कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बिकॉज इसका KSP of let's say कौन सा PBS is less than KSP of ZNS. बहुत कम है, राइट? इसीलिए वो प्रेसिपिटेट हो जाता है. दैट्स द मेन आइडिया इन सॉल्ट एनालिसिस व्हेन यू हैव टू. इन सेम आइडिया यहां पे भी देखो NH4OH in this, NH4OH in NH4Cl and this guy here where you're doing directly NH4OH डाल रहे हो, राइट? खैर, anyway, shall we go on? Yeah. So what you do, प्रोसेस फिर से बोल रहा हूं, HCl डाला, ये हुआ. अगर उसमें कुछ फिल्ट्रेट बचा या डिकैंटेट या फिल्ट्रेट, whatever you want to call it, that goes and to that you add H2S and HCl. Okay, then you do a lot of tests. अगर प्रेसिपिटेट मिला तो then you do a lot of tests. उसका जो फिल्ट्रेट निकला, in that you add NH4OH in the presence of NH4Cl. अब इसमें क्या कर रहा है? What is happening here? लिखते हैं NH4OH and NH4Cl. What is happening here? Again you have a common ion effect. Again you have a common ion effect. मतलब कि OH minus ion concentration हो रहा है कम. Why? Because the Ksp value of OH minus ion here is going to be very low. Okay, OH minus ion along with this guy here. With what? देखो, you are getting AlOH whole thrice and FeOH whole thrice. So these are going to precipitate out as aluminium and Fe3OH whole thrice. And their Ksp values are really, really small. Really, really small. That's how this precipitate out over here. Okay. So what do? You take the second filtrate and you boil it to remove H2S. Because remember, मैंने H2S व HCl ऐड किया था, मुझे हटाना भी है. This could be tested in NEET. This could be tested for sure, right? क्यों? क्योंकि you can't just do things because कहीं पे कुछ टेस्ट लिखा है. You have to think क्यों हो रहा है, right? You must remove what you already added. Because this is a cascading effect. You start with that, then you do this reagent, then you do reagent 3, then you do reagent 4. तो पुराने में जो unnecessary है वो हटाना है. So first you boil. This small step is not always mentioned. You boil, you remove H2S. उसके बाद if group 2 is absent, मतलब it did not form precipitate H2S and HCl, then you again add HNO3. ठीक है? बार-बार HNO3 डालें. Last group 1 and group 2 में भी we added HNO3, right? You heat the solution for some time, and after cooling, you add a little bit of NH4Cl and NH4OH. Okay, lot of NH4OH, little bit of NH4Cl. Little bit of NH4Cl will pull down the concentration of OH minus ions until you get the smell of ammonia. मतलब कि हाँ ammonia, free ammonia निकल रहा है. You shake that test tube. If you get some precipitates, then it indicates the presence of group 3 cations. What kind of precipitates? Brown or white. Specifically, brown means iron. White means the other guy. What's the other guy? Aluminium. Agar gelatin is white, by this looks beautiful. If you ever get to do it in a real lab, that will be the best possible thing, right? You get a gelatinous white precipitate of AlOH whole thrice and a brown precipitate of Fe3OH. Okay, this is how you know कि this indicates कि हाँ इसमें हो सकता है. Definitely aluminium ion हो सकता है या फिर iron हो सकता है. Fe3 plus ion हो सकता है. Okay. So here is the quick, what do you call it, schematic of how this works. Yeah. You add concentrated HNO3. What I added before this was मैंने boil करके H2S निकाल दिया. Then I add HNO3, it becomes acidic. Okay. उसके बाद मैं करता हूँ heat and I add heat होने दीजिए. हो रहा है heat. After heating it up, I add a little bit of NH4. कहाँ है भाई? NH4OH or NH4Cl. Oh shoot, it just went away. Oh, this is going to restart again. Khair, that's the problem with giving you guys PDFs, right? PDF में ये सब कुछ दिखता ही नहीं है. Does the PDF help you? By the way, guys on the chat right now, मैं आपको बहुत PDFs भेजता रहता हूँ, right? So as soon as session gets over, I upload the PDF onto a Telegram server. Does that help? Does that help at all, or what do you guys do with it? Is that helpful, or do you guys look at the PDF later on, or do you guys think कि नहीं उसकी जरूरत नहीं है? Then we'll stop. What do you guys think about that? कुछ opinions है तो let me know in the comments. Yeah, if the PDFs generally help. If you know what I'm talking about, go to the description, click on the Telegram link, and you should be able to see PDFs of all the sessions we do right over there. Khair, we are back at the whole stage. Saloni, समझ में आ रहा है? Oh, Shalini, sorry. Yeah, समझ में आ रहा है? You were feeling a little left out in the starting, right? NH4OH डालो. Okay, cool. NH4OH डालो और बन जाता है. You get that little bit of NH4Cl as well to reduce the concentration of. Actually, the order actually इसमें उल्टा है. Yeah? NH4Cl पहले डालो and then NH4OH, because if you add it later, then precipitate already बन जाएगा. थोड़ा सा डाल के you shake it and you get a gelatinous white precipitate. This looks really good in real life. I know animation में तो कुछ पता नहीं चल रहा है, कुछ हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है, right? But the whole thing looks like jelly. खैर, अगर I hope you get to do it in a real lab sometime. Yeah. The same thing happens if you get a brown precipitate that indicates the presence of Fe3 plus ions. I'm not going to show this whole thing to you. It's just ठीक है. पहले HNO3 डालो, then NH4OH डालो, NH4Cl के साथ, and then you get a brown precipitate. That's ions. Here is the summary of all of this in a couple of this thing. Any doubts in this session? Anything you want me to repeat? मैंने इस session में content थोड़ा crisp रखा in the sense I only kept what I thought will be easy for you guys to grasp. But फिर भी अगर कुछ मुश्किल लग रहा है तो please बताओ. I can repeat it. I don't mind. I'm going to go over this one slide एक बार फिर से, which is probably the most important slide in this whole session. Is the main concept of what is happening. हो क्या रहा है यहाँ पे, right? This whole thing. मैंने यहाँ पे कुछ numbers लिखे थे. Let's see if there's a cleaner version of this slide. I have another. I've copied this in 100 places. Here इस पे भी लिख दिया. I think सब जगह मैंने कुछ ना कुछ गोचापोची की हुई है because wherever it was relevant मैंने लिखा है, right? So what this slide is telling you is you start with HCl for group 1. Okay? You start with HCl for group 1. PbCl2 बन जाता है, ठीक है? Then you do the confirmatory test of that. उसके बाद you add HCl and H2S to it, and then immediately अगर lead है तो वो तो precipitate हो ही चुका था, that's gone. But अगर फिर से precipitate form हो रहा है काला, okay, lead का मैं हटा चुका हूँ. So what am I doing here? पहले HCl ऐड के ये सब किया. I take what is given out, उसको filter करके सिर्फ liquid लेता हूँ. I take just a liquid from there. To that liquid, I am adding H2S and HCl. Very low concentration of sulphide ions because common ion effect. Okay. उसमें से अगर precipitate हो रहा है, then I know कि it can be either lead or copper. Okay. Then after that, next what I do is I add NH4OH and NH4Cl. But before that, I have to remove the H2S जो already था. Again, मैं हर चीज filtrate के साथ ही कर रहा हूँ. Filtrate यानी कि ऐसा भी possible है ना कि मेरे initial solution में सारे ions हैं. Say I have all of these ions that are on your screen. सारे ions हैं आपके उसमें. But how do you identify कौन से हैं? Maybe 5 of them are there. Maybe not all, but 1, 2 and 5 are there. Not all. कैसे करोगे? Step by step. Step by step करना बहुत जरूरी है. Is this part clear? Okay. That's the most important thing. You have to do step by step because of the Ksp values. That's the main takeaway in terms of the theory. What you have to understand. उसके बाद तो test वest है that we've been mugging etc. वो करेंगे. खैर, we'll continue next session with the confirmatory test of all of these in a couple of days. Thursday को उसको करेंगे. ठीक है? Since you guys haven't prompted with any doubts and such, we'll call it a day. I know ये भारी है. I know ये भारी है. अगले session में होंगे बहुत सवाल. Please revise this session and the last 2 sessions. And with that, we'll wrap up qualitative salt analysis. ठीक है? चलो. Bye. Good night.